Okay, so hello and welcome back to the second part of our podcast where we are interviewing data leaders across Germany. And today we are lucky to be joined by Laura Marquis, who is the head of data science over at Headsup, which is a cutting edge health analytics and data science startup, which is based in Essen. So today we're going to be touching on a number of different topics for Laura, including maintaining balance in your career, Laura. We're going to be talking about yoga, and we're also going to be talking about Heads Up mission as well. So Laura, thank you so much for joining us today, and it'll be great to understand a little bit more about you and your career.
Yeah, thank you, Adam, for having me here today. I'm Laura, and from my background, maybe begin with my studies. I studied statistics, and started to work in a midsize contract research organization as a statistical analyst after I finished my master's. And I stayed there for a bit, and I think then almost 4 years after working there, I started to become a team lead, which was quite exciting. And I think, really nice to be able to lead a team already at that time, or get some first impressions of how this is and get first steps. And I stayed there a bit longer, but then I changed some companies, worked as data scientist as well, and different organizations again, where I had some leadership role. And it was really nice to get some insights in different companies, different positions. And since almost 1 year now, I work up at Headsup. As already mentioned, it's like a startup. Started 1 year ago, and I was involved from the complete beginning. I work really close with the founder, and it's really nice. You're still like a small team, but we start to grow now. Some people are joining at the moment. Exciting times.
Does it feel like you've been there for a year already? Has that flown by?
No, it's flown by so quick. We just realized a few days ago that's like, oh, look, only 1 more month and we are 1 year. That's great.
It's amazing because I guess a lot of people haven't heard of Heads Up. I mean, I came across you guys, and you're kind of new on the scene. You're doing some slightly different things, but it'd be great, for our audience who perhaps don't know much about Heads Up. Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about what you guys do, what your mission is, what you're looking to achieve, right?
Yeah. So as I said, we're still a small team, but growing. We have strong background in data science, and especially analytics in the field of pharmaceutical companies, clinical research, but it's not limited to that. So we have really people strong in data science fields, And our mission, I think, when we started, or the idea was born, it was that we had some values or some thoughts about how to work, how to create a workspace. And actually the founder and me, we first worked together at my first company where I started after university. So at the beginning of my career, he was my team lead, and I did change companies here as well, but then we came across and always stayed connected. And it's really nice to do this together now after knowing each other such a long time. And I'm happy for his support as well, of course. And we found that we wanted to create a working space, a supportive working space. And it's really hard if you're in a already set company to change things. So in our last workplace or before, you try to maybe make some different, get them changes, but it's really hard if it's already set up. So now we had like something completely new, and we can have our values from the beginning set, build a great team with great people, and start from the beginning and let the culture grow, which we think is nice, and hopefully all the team works.
It's always really exciting building something from scratch, isn't it? And I think it's really, when we first spoke, I think it was really unique that, the power of your networks, the fact that you guys have stayed connected for this long and not lost touch. Is it nice to be working together again?
Yeah, it's really nice, and I think it really works out great. And sharing some value, but still having maybe different approaches to different things, and then you can discuss. And most processes we come along really good, and as well the team is involved in many things, so we can really shape something together as a team. Yeah, with low hierarchies, and that's really nice.
So, one question I have for you is, how have you managed to maintain balance while advancing in such a technical and demanding career, Laura?
Um, yeah, that's definitely an important topic because it can get busy.
Yeah, I imagine.
Really busy. We all know, I think, and I think for me as well, it was not easy at the beginning of my career as well. At least when there were more responsibilities came in, maybe more fast-paced projects come in, and you really want to do everything at the same time. Maybe you want to make everyone happy and satisfied, and it's getting more and more. And for me, it was sometimes hard in the evening, maybe as well, to really rest and slow down the thoughts, or so you can really start the next day with a fresh mind. I think it's important to find some strategies to balance the work and your life then after work, maybe in between. For me, it was just something to calm down my mind, to learn what affects my well-being. Maybe in the evening, on the weekend, it's like spending time in the nature or doing some sports or reading a book. I mean, that can really look different, I think, for everyone. And one thing really for me does help a lot is doing yoga, which I realized a few years ago, and really started to deepen my practice.
You were telling me the other day, Laura, that because I was under the impression that yoga was all, stretching and exercise, but you were saying it could be something as simple as just taking a moment to breathe, right?
I think it's you really learn to breathe, to reconnect to your body, which really helps as well to calm down your nervous system. Or it's doing something with intention, breathing with intention, and relaxing your mind, find balance in your body and breath. It can really help to have some resting practice, or
So, Laura, talking about maintaining balance and yoga, perhaps you could tell us a bit more about how yoga might have influenced the way you approach certain challenges in data science or in leadership. It's a bit of a weird question, but I hope you can shed some light for us.
I think it did influence how to approach some challenges or tasks, maybe as well leadership tasks, responsibilities. I really, during the last 1-2 years, deepened my practice. I as well did a teacher training this year, and so for me it's to be not getting stuck in the head all the time. I think we work in a really analytical field, so really problem solving, thinking the whole day. And sometimes it's good to maybe step back a bit and relax, and as well relax your thoughts. And this is what yoga really helps with, to know, okay, now I breathe a little bit, and then I can go on with a fresh mind, and as well to be aware of the stress level, maybe. if you would feel like if you start breathing faster or something, and okay, I'm getting stressed, and how can I get down again? Maybe to take a breath, take a break, even 1 or 2 minutes, and see as well how your team is doing, right? If you see them like stressing, you might want to step in, or I don't know, support them. It's as well to how you see your team approach, maybe with tasks for them as well.
I always think it's quite a hard thing to sometimes self-diagnose, like when you're getting stressed, and then it's almost just taking a step back, because a lot of people say, I don't know your school of thought on this, but a lot of people say, when you're actually going through your working day, that it's so easy to just get caught up in the sea of what you're doing, and the stress levels just to increase and increase and increase. A lot of experts recommend 50 minutes and then 10 minutes off on a break, and then 50 minutes and then 10 minutes off. Do you do that, or what sort of technique do you adopt? Do you do like every 2 hours you'll breathe, or is it just when you recognize you're getting stressed, you do some breath work? Like, how does it work for you?
I don't have a set timer, but I think it's a great idea to really have it regularly in your daily work, to have a rest. But I think I really recognize at the most of the time when I just say, okay, 1 minute, really did 1 minute for myself, I'll be back. And I mean, if I do yoga like in the morning or whatever, I do start the day more grounded, more relaxed, and then you don't get that stressed that easily or that fast, maybe as well. So, yeah.
It's a form of exercise, isn't it? Like, this is another thing you were saying. Like, some people before they start their working day will go for a run, or they'll go to the gym. I guess yoga in a way is a very similar thing. It's actually, not only is it a type of breath work, but it's also, when it comes to the stretching and stuff, it's also a form of exercise, right?
Yeah, sure. It's and I think running or whatever sport can be really great in the same kind of way. But in yoga you as well move, which is really good for the body for sure, because probably we all sit most of the days
We do, yeah.
on our screens. But you have like movement of the body, but you still have like the breath, getting in balance with your mind and your body, like feeling your body, because most of the time you're really in our thoughts, in our head, and maybe our body sometimes gets a bit charged. So we really want to recognize how we are feeling. And just finding some more balance.
We could all do with more balance in the world. So no, it's interesting. I haven't spoken to many data science leaders who are into yoga, but it's definitely an interesting topic. And look, I'm very interested. I'm sure, like a lot of our audience who are perhaps starting out in their careers, and are looking to get to where you are today, Laura, would love to understand more about your journey, but also, I know that you've worked for large organizations, you've worked for now quite small startup, both very different. What's been the most rewarding part of actually being involved in a startup? Particularly, especially as a woman in leadership. What do you find most rewarding about being a part of Headsup?
I think it's shaping the culture from day one, and bringing your values with you into the culture from the beginning. And as we already talked about yoga, so I'm really into the work-life balance, or I would say like everyone should really feel good at work. And for me, this is like an important topic, and I hope I can bring this as well from the beginning to the company and to the team. That it's okay. Maybe as well, I can set boundaries. It's totally fine to ask for maybe support or help if you see you're struggling. Don't wait until it's smashing, but just it's okay to ask, to say like maybe you need support. We really try to shift the workload so that it's working for everyone. Of course, sometimes it's hard as well, like if it's busy times or vacation time, I know it can be can be hard, and it can be busy. But we really try to be open, to communicate open, to have everyone on the table, and try our best that everyone has like a really good place to work and feel safe. Yeah.
So, what have you learned, Laura, in your career about setting boundaries? You mentioned to me previously that, work-life balance is so important. I love the fact that you try and imbue that culture from day one to say that, guys, like this is a really important aspect of a happy and healthy work life. So what have you learned about setting boundaries? Because it's not always an easy thing to do. So in terms of setting boundaries with your own time, with your team, with yourself, where do you draw that line in the sand?
Yeah. At boundaries, it's good to know your boundaries, like, or to set your limits. But I think it's a process, and probably always is a process. Yeah, but of course, I think if you start working, start your career, it's really hard. If people ask you something, you don't want to say no or whatever. And in the beginning, it probably might be fine as well. And I mean, it's fine if you have busy days, but if it's getting too much, it's, yeah. I mean, I think you start lacking them motivation, or you will feel a bit drained, and that's not. I think it's not good for in the long term. So we don't want to be trained. We want to have a good long-term performance. You should see it that way. So I think, yeah, to learn where are your limits, so you don't get like trained or you don't lose motivation. It's really important. And for me, yeah, maybe it's to see days where you already know it's getting really, really busy, and maybe you just communicate already in the morning or early that you in this day you won't have a lot of time for calls, or you won't be available after a certain time or something. And if you discuss or communicate it early on, and I think then it's fine. But I think it's always a lot about communication, because if you don't communicate it, no one knows, and it's getting later, and it's getting more busy, and it's feeling maybe bad for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you already know something, and then, or you don't feel good with it, then I think it's a lot about communication, and as well listening to the others. I mean, if others have set their limits or boundaries, and it's okay to listen and to know, and it's important to value that, because it's information and we can work with information.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, really good to understand where you sit on that. And one thing you mentioned to me is you mentioned just previously then is that I guess setting boundaries is so important to keeping motivated. I'd be interested to find out, Laura, what motivates you in your career.
What motivates me? I mean, I really, really like the analytical job. Of course, you should like it, and I think it's kind of motivating itself. But yeah, I mean, the workplace around you, like the team you're working with, I think does a lot. And yeah, as well, your company, the values of your company, I think can be motivating. So for us, it's like creating a really nice environment, working environment for hopefully everyone. So we try to be flexible as possible and try to make everything most possible as the team needs. But as well, outside of our small company world, we from the beginning we try to take social responsibility. So we already support local organizations, and I mean, I think it's really nice to care already from the beginning, and to really, it's nice to care about the outside world as well and the inside, and really try to make an impact. And that really motivates me to create something which is meaningful, and not just, I mean, we have the work, and the work is important, and I do really like the work, but it's as well nice to have something outside and to create some impact.
Absolutely. So important. And not every company gets it right. And I think like, the fact that you're at that size now and you're already thinking about these things and imbuing these things, like you're putting yourself in such a strong position moving forward as you grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, it's an amazing thing. And it's always good to hear that companies care about their environment and the wider society as a whole as well. Laura, looking back, what connections or communities do you think made the biggest difference in your career journey so far?
Yeah, I think the most important connection I already mentioned previously. It's Gökhan, like the founder of Headsup, and my kind of mentor from the start of the beginning of my career, my first team lead, and that we stay connected on all along until now, and did work together again, and now as well work together at Headsup, and that's really nice. And his motivation and his values, and how he wants to impact like our working environment. It's really inspiring me. So I'm really looking forward to what's to come. And yeah.
Laura, what have you learned about setting boundaries, like either with your time or with your team? It's so important to set boundaries for yourself, and draw a line in the sand where work stops and relaxation begins. So, what have you learned so far about setting boundaries in your career?
Yeah, it really connects with the work-life balance topic, or getting some rest, I think. But I think it's really a learning process, because at the beginning of your career, you probably don't even know what are my limits or where are my boundaries. So I think it's a learning process, and it probably won't end. And but it's important to maybe, I think the most important thing is to know where it's maybe too much for you, or you already know this week it's getting so busy, I don't know if I can handle it. And I think if you feel it, the most important thing is to communicate it, because if you talk about it, if you let people know, you can see how to manage, if you can get support, or even if you have a really busy day, or you have maybe some personal really appointment really important and you have to leave at a certain time. I think it's important just to communicate it beforehand, maybe let people know you're only available until a certain time. Don't wait too long until you don't have time for that call anymore. Just tell them beforehand. So if we want to have a call today, I'm only available until, or something. Just, I think it's getting to know your limits, and then as well a lot about communication. And that's, for me as a team lead, I would say it's as well important for me that people are communicating openly if they're struggling. So I think it's good. It's not something they should be struggling with, to talk about it if they need help, or if it's just too busy. I think for us, if we communicate about it, it's information, and with information we can work and we can sort it out. So yeah.
Perfect. Good to understand. And lastly, Laura, looking back, what connections or communities do you feel have made the biggest difference in your career journey so far?
I think um, it's really important to stay connected to, I don't know, likewise people or your former peers, to still sometimes grab a coffee together, exchange, just chat a bit. And as well as I started working in the leadership position, it was really nice for me to have like some woman-focused communities, talking with, just exchanging, not just exchanging, having the same maybe thoughts about topics and how to handle, or how they handle, and how they want look into the future, the next steps. It was really nice as well. So I can recommend it for everyone, just looking out for communities maybe in the same career step, or like-minded, or really really nice, just to exchange, to have this exchange. And then, but the most, I would say, important connection, of course, I already mentioned, is like become the founder of Headsup, because he was like my first team lead when I started working after university, and now we work together at this startup and building something new. So we did not work together like the whole time on Stan, but we did reconnect every time again, and it worked out that we now work together, which is really nice, and that was really, really valuable for me. To see his visions and his motivation, that was really inspiring me.
That's so cool, and it's a huge accolade to you that he's remembered you after all these, all this time. But it just goes to show the importance of networking and maintaining those networks. So, look, that concludes the end of this particular episode. So, Laura, thank you so much for your time. It's been an amazing conversation, and everyone, please go ahead and follow Laura and follow the work over at Headsup. And they're doing some really interesting stuff right now. So, Laura, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, and thank you for reaching out and having me today. It was really nice. Thank you.
No problem. No.